I'm Ruth Nemzoff, and I'm here with my granddaughters Zoe and Ellie, and they are my tech help and my videographers. And we're going to tell you how to tell stories, or one way of telling stories to your grandchildren. Hi, I have been running seminars all during COVID for grandparents. And one of the grandparents suggested that I give tours of my closets to my grandchildren. And I thought, that's crazy. I have nothing of interest in my closets. And then I went into my closet. And what do I see? The first thing I see is my father's Kiddush cup. And I can tell my grandchildren how every Friday night, every Shabbat, my mother lit the candles, and then my father would say the Kiddush holding this cup, and then he'd bless us, and then he'd say the blessing over the bread, and then we'd eat a delicious Shabbat meal. Or I could use the same cup to tell the story of my father, an immigrant boy who was smart and was pulled out of his class to attend Boston Latin School, and then pulled out of that class to attend Harvard as one of the first Jewish Russian boys to attend in the 1920s. And that would lead to a whole discussion about anti-Semitism and about quotas, and I could even extend it into Black Lives Matter today. And then if I had a grandchild who was very artistic, which I do, I would talk about the engraving, the beautiful engraving, and how my father's name is inscribed on it. And I could also talk about his career. I could tell so many family stories using this. And then I looked in the closet, and look what I found. This picture. And this belonged to my mother's, your great-grandmother's, it was her brother, and he gave it to me when he passed away. And this uncle broke a lamp. And guess what? My mother was blamed. And then I'd ask my grandchildren, have you ever been blamed for anything? And believe me, it led to a long discussion. Then I could show this dish. Now this dish was given to me by my husband's aunt, Ethel, and she had Parkinson's. She was in a wheelchair, and at the end she couldn't talk or she couldn't walk, but she could really enjoy our visits. And this plate is pretty plate, but what's interesting is on the back, it says, made in occupied Japan. And that could lead to a whole discussion about the Holocaust, about the Axis powers, and about how the Japanese, when they took over China, they had a ghetto for the Jews. But unlike the Germans, they certainly didn't treat the Jews well, but they didn't kill them. So that's kind of an interesting story to tell. We can talk about history, we can talk about emotional lives, we can talk about our individuals in our family. So I hope you will now look in your closets and find wonderful family stories to tell your grandchildren.